According to Strava, these are 2023's top 10 most used running shoes. So the only criteria to make this list is the shoe has to have been released this year in 2023. I don't want any older models, just this year's. That's it. So we're going to be diving straight in, cover the top 10 shoes that I've run the most miles in this year, and then I'll share with you at the end a couple of notable absentees. And coming in 10th place is the OnCloud Stratos 3, covering 55.9 miles. I received this shoe in August, and I've really mainly just put easy and moderate miles in this shoe. A confusing shoe, but a really good confusing shoe. And I mean confusing because it's so heavy. One of the heaviest shoes I've tested this year. But my word, can't you move in that shoe? Moderate paces or zone 2 was a dream when I was running in it. So was easy paces. So that shoe has covered the first two bases. Nothing quicker. Definitely not a shoe for that sort of thing. But a wonderful, wonderful easy and recovery day shoe. Pushing up to zone 2 if you want to. And the Puma DV8 Nitro Elite 2. 63.8 miles. And that was also received in August as well. A racing shoe that I've used purely for training. Didn't quite cut it in mixing it up with the other races that I've got in my rotation, but a shoe that I have loved for training. One of my favourite shoes this year. It would have got more miles, like if it had been a daily trainer, and I've had the same sort of feeling towards it as if it was in that category, because it has been a really, really great workout shoe. I've tested other workout shoes this year, non-plated of course, and I've really enjoyed those. But for other options that I want a little bit of extra help with, or just a shoe that's got a little bit more oomph, I feel like I've gravitated towards this one. It's been a really, really good offering from Puma, and I've been loving it so far. And in 8th place is the Saucony Endorphin Elite, possibly up there for shoe of the year. It's been absolutely mind-blowing, and the reason for that is I never thought I would choose a racing shoe over some of the Nike ranges that we've got, like the Vaporfly and the Alphafly, but the Elite has come and knocked those off their perch. I have loved that shoe. 71.2 miles already, which I'm having to be very careful about because I want to use this for London Marathon, so I do not want to put basically any more miles. I want to get to London Marathon with under 100 miles on the shoe so that when I get to London it will be in and around that 100 mile mark. So it'll still be really good. It's still feeling great now. I'll get a couple of tune-up races done in it and then I will literally just reserve it for race day. Saucony Endorphin Elite coming in 8th spot. The Hoka X coming in 7th, 89 miles, and I only received this shoe in October. A testament to how blooming good this is and a massive, massive step forward from Hoka. Using this new Puma-based midsole that they have in their Rocket X2, using it in the Mac X as well, combined with some other EVA foam, like a dual layer midsole. It has been wonderful. I've really enjoyed this shoe. Again, as I said, October, 89 miles already. That's a testament to how much I'm loving that shoe. I think if this had come into my possession earlier in the year, we've been seeing this well into the 100 mile mark. This is going to get plenty more miles in it, and it has been a real shining star this year. And the 361 Centuri comes in 6th place, a brand that I really never dabbled in or heard about too much. They reached out to me, sent me this shoe, and it was really, really good. I was testing a few daily trainers at the time, and this one excelled. 91.6 miles, I think. It nearly made the 100 mile mark. Absolutely amazing. I really loved it. The only thing that let that shoe down was the grip. It wasn't great in wet conditions, and as I picked it up in January, a little bit cheating. I did get sent it in December, so a couple of miles were put in and logged last year, but it was released technically 1st of January this year. Really, really good shoe. Very Pegasus reminiscent, but I'd actually choose this over the Pegasus because I'm not a massive fan of the Pegasus in all honesty, and until that shoe gets a revamp, I don't think I will be. So yeah, highly rated 361 Centuri. That was a great daily trainer. And coming in 5th place, propping up the top 5, the Asics Gel Cumulus 25, 92.4 miles, received in September. Again, just like the Mac X, that's a testament to how much I like it. Could be up there for daily trainer of the year. The Asics Gel Cumulus, I know a lot of people, and they hyped up the Nimbus, a very kind of invincible, kind of comparable shoe. When I say invincible, I mean the Nike Invincible. It was kind of that sort of shoe they were trying to compete, and the Cumulus has kind of like gone under the radar a little bit more slimline, still nice and bulky with a lot of cushion. but not quite as puffy as you get in the Nimbus. Didn't try the Nimbus, not too interested in those massive, big, bulky shoes. And Cumulus isn't something I'd normally use or go for. I was sent it, I was extremely grateful, and I'm delighted because, again, 92.4 miles, absolutely incredible. Loving it. That's going to reach 100 miles in the next week or so. And yeah, I cannot recommend that one enough. So another banger there from Asics. And coming in fourth spot, the Hoka Clifton 9, 103.4 miles. First ever Clifton I tried. Really happy with how it was out of the box. Really enjoyed those early miles. Kind of started to go a bit dead towards the end of the 100-mile mark. I haven't picked the shoe up since. I loved it so much in the beginning that I really ploughed the miles in it. Again, it was a shoe that I gravitated towards very quickly. Went for it because it's lightweight compared to some of the other shoes I was using. And that's what I want. I prefer lighter weight shoes, if I'm honest. But it still gave me some good cushioning. But that cushioning did seem to flatten out towards the end of the 100 miles. And although I wouldn't say it's dead by any stretch of the imagination, it's definitely lost a little bit of pop that it did have. If you've run in Hoka midsoles, you'll know all about the Hoka EVA. It can feel a little bit dead. It definitely lacks a little bit of pop. And although the Clifton 9 started with it, it's definitely kind of faded away as it's gone on. But as you can see, propping up in fourth spot is the Clifton 9. Now here's a curveball for you, the Puma Forever Run Nitro, coming in third place, 113.9 miles. Just like the Cumulus, got that one in February, by the way. Just like the Cumulus, that one really surprised me. A lot of people have asked me to compare like it to the Magnify Nitro 2. They're very similar shoes. I'd say the Forever Run Nitro, a little bit more supportive in terms of like, you feel very locked in the heel count. There's a few sort of supportive elements about it. Not that it's a supportive shoe, but I feel like it guides you a little bit better through the foot strike. The Magnify Nitro 2 is just a lovely soft shoe, but again, that doesn't make the list because I haven't put many miles in it. The Forever Nitro 2, the one shoe on the channel that I've got over 100 miles in and never produced a 100-mile review. And I've sat there and toyed with the idea of making it, but it's kind of been so long since I've run in it that I'd be doing myself a disservice if I just chuck one out there, because I can't really remember too much in detail about it and the points that I would really want to make. But durability is great, felt lovely, soft and squishy, wonderful shoe, coming in third spot. And in second place, the Adidas Takumi Sen 9, 134.4 miles, received in June this year. I purchased this one with my own money, and my word, didn't that fly to 100 miles very quickly. That was an incredible shoe for me. I have stopped using it. I won't repeat myself. I've repeated it many times, but basically my ankles are collapsing in too much. So we won't go into detail. But I've had to stop using them for the moment just because they were causing a bit of leg pain. But my word, whilst I was using them, they were a monster of a shoe. And I just wish that my ankles and legs would like them a little bit more, because for me, they would be up there for workout shoe of the year. Currently, the Kinvara 14 is hot on its heels and might just take that place. But the Takumi Sen 9, I mean, I hadn't jumped into a Takumi before and I was blown away. I totally get the hype. It's just a real shame that it didn't quite work for me long term. And finally, received in February from Brooks, very grateful, the Brooks Hyperion Max, 415 miles. Yeah, blowing all competition out of the water. Not even close. The second place wasn't even halfway to logging the miles that the Brooks Hyperion Max did. So much so that I purchased a second pair with my own money for this upcoming London Marathon training block, and I used them for the first time on Tuesday night, as I'm now 20 weeks out and diving into that block. And oh, it's so good to be back in those shoes. If I had a choice, I'd probably just run in those things all day long, every single day of the week. They are incredible. An amazing job by Brooks. Brooks Hyperion Max stepping up from the tempo. A bit sad to see that the next iteration of it, some footage from the running event, it's going to contain a plate. I really don't want to be running in plated shoes too much. I love the fact that the Brooks Hyperion Max is a lovely big stack shoe. Lightweight, you feel propulsion from the foam, firmer, but a wonderful shoe. And I like the fact that it doesn't have a plate. I don't want to run in plated shoes all the time, so I am a bit gutted. I might have to stock up on the Max. I've already bought my second pair, as I said, and I might have to grab a third if it goes down that route. But overall, yeah, I cannot say anything negative about that shoe. It's been amazing. 415 miles to the top spot, Brooks Hyperion Max. Now I made a note of a couple of notable absentees. I just want to mention 11th place. That was the OnCloud Flow 4 and that missed out by half a mile, 55.4 miles. And that's been a really enjoyable shoe as well. Received it in October, so already got 55 miles in that shoe already, so that's great. The Kinvara 14, 52 miles, that just missed out as well. But again, I only received that last month. That is flying, and if I'd have got that in the beginning of the year, I genuinely feel that would be second place. It wouldn't have beaten the Max, but it would be well up there. It would. I think it's going to breeze past the Takumi. So I just want to make that very clear. The Kinvara 14 firing on all cylinders. And a couple of shoes that I kind of carried over from last year into this year that I have logged a lot of miles in this year, but don't want to include them in the list because they're not 2023 models. Nova Blast 3, Saucony Dolphin Speed 3, Streak Fly and Zoom Fly 5, they've all shared some miles this year, some more than others. And yeah, the Ride 17 is the only other one that I've just received now, 22 miles. Nova Blast 4 as well. Just received that, 14.4 miles. A lot of people already on my Nova Blast video asking between the Ride 17 and the Nova Blast. Well, I had a choice this morning on my moderate run. Do I use the Ride 17 or the Nova Blast 4? I went for the Ride 17. I'm not saying that means that I prefer it to the other one, but the Ride 17 grabbed me more. I had such a good long run in it, and the Nova Blast just was kind of like, it was great, but it wasn't that spectacular feeling like I've had in previous Nova Blast. So I went for the Ride 17 in that way. So those are the shoes that I kind of want to highlight and pinpoint to you that I think if I'd have got them earlier in the year, they'd be up on that list somewhere around there. So I'd love to hear from you guys what your biggest mileage shoe has been this year. How many miles have you put in certain shoes? What's been the mileage hog for you? What have been not necessarily your favorites, but what have you just gone to? Because often we can have favorites, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're the ones we put the most miles in. What have you gravitated towards? And just take this from me. I review a lot of shoes, and I have done this year, and I've been sent a lot of shoes, and I'm extremely grateful. And I can sit here and tell you all the great things about a shoe and all the bad things about a shoe, and what I like and what I don't like. But these lists are the cold hard facts. These are the shoes that I use. These are the ones that when I review them, they don't just get shelved, they get put into the rotation, they get used. So this top 10 list, all these shoes are really enjoyable, serious stuff. I know there's a couple there that I can't use anymore or I don't use now, but overall it is a really good comprehensive list and hopefully gives you guys an idea as to what shoes that I was really serious about in 2023. We'll leave it on that note. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end of the video, and of course if you enjoyed it, please do consider giving it a like, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. I'll see you in the next one. Until then.